Sydney global coronavirus cases surpassed 3.5 million on Monday, with deaths nearing 250,000, although the rate of fatalities and new cases has slowed from peaks reached last month, a Reuters tally shows. North America and European countries accounted for most of the new cases reported in recent days, but numbers were rising from smaller bases in Latin America, Africa and Russia. Globally, there were 84,004 new cases over the past 24 hours, according to the Reuters tally that is based on official government data, taking total cases to just over 3.5 million. That compares with around 3 million to 5 million cases of severe illness caused annually by seasonal influenza, according to the World Health Organization (WHO). Still, while experts say actual coronavirus cases are likely higher than current reports, the trajectory falls far short of the Spanish flu, which began in 1918 and infected an estimated 500 million people. Deaths related to COVID-19, the disease caused by the new virus, stood at 245,992. The first death was reported on January 10 in Wuhan, China, after the virus emerged there in December. The daily rate of new cases worldwide has been sitting in a 2% to 3% range over the past week, versus a peak of around 13% in mid-March, prompting many countries to begin easing lockdown measures that have upended businesses and crippled the global economy. The loosening of restrictions has proved controversial, as experts debate the best strategy to ensure there is no large second wave outbreak. Health officials have also expressed concern about the rising case numbers in countries where there is a shortage of testing and a lack of medical facilities. While the number of new cases has come off a peak of 104,495 reported in a single day last week, it is still at around 80,000 to 90,000 cases per day globally. In the United States, around half the country's state governors partially reopened their economies over the weekend, while others, including New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, declared the move was premature. In Britain, Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who battled COVID-19 last month, said on Sunday the country was over the peak but it was still too early to relax lockdown measures. Even in countries where the suppression of the disease has been considered successful, such as Australia and New Zealand, which have recorded daily rates of new infections in the low single digits for weeks, officials have been cautious. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison has predicated a full lifting of curbs on widespread public adoption of a mobile phone tracing app and increased testing levels. Experts caution that both cases and deaths from COVID-19 are almost certainly underreported. Cases may cause only mild symptoms and not everyone with symptoms is tested, while most countries only record hospital deaths, meaning deaths in private homes and nursing homes have not yet been included. Tokyo, Reuters, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe is set to extend the country's state of emergency on Monday until the end of May, public broadcaster NHK said. The government is also expected to determine new prevention measures for the coronavirus outbreak that has infected around 15,000 people and killed more than 500 in the country. Abe is expected to explain the reasoning behind the extension of the state of emergency, which is now due to expire on Wednesday, at a news conference in the evening, NHK said. The government may also ease some of the current coronavirus-related constraints on economic activity by allowing places with relatively low infection risks, such as parks, to reopen, even in hard-hit prefectures. The state of emergency gives governors in those prefectures the authority to request residents to stay at home and businesses to close. There are, however, no penalties for non-compliance. The virus-triggered slump in business activity is threatening to throw the world's third-largest economy into a deep recession, prompting calls for more government spending. Japan's parliament last week approved an extra budget to fund a record $1.1 trillion stimulus package.